start organizing and cleaning my office slash studios. My office is a disaster, so that kind of happens when you're working and things get thrown everywhere. So that is our mission today. So we have a lot of fabrics that I want to get folded and put on some comic boards. So I kind of don't know exactly which fabrics I have because it's all like in one pile. So I want to get that a little bit more organized because I think I have more main fabrics right now and I need to get some more lining fabric. So also I made these little tiny fabric labels earlier today. Yesterday I made some earbud cases, or no, I only made one. So it was just like a sample, and I want to make a label that fits better on there. I put the fold over label on there, but I didn't like it that much. It kind of took up too much space because they're really small. They're, about that small. So we're going to get some fabric later. I think I'm going to go to the fabric store and try to make the labels on fabric rather than the bias tape like I typically do, just for the small mini labels. That's what I'm calling them, is the mini labels. So I don't want the label to completely overpower my products. So that's what we're doing. So I'm just going to show you guys a little bit of the organization, and depending on how much time this takes, I may show you guys a tote bag that I plan to make for my dog sitter. So I wanted to make her something a while back, but I just never got around to it just because I was busy, and I'm going to see her in a couple days. So I want to do something nice for her because she's always coming and helping us out at the last minute. So I have some fabric that is perfect for a tote bag for a dog lover. So we'll see if I get there. Okay, so we're gonna start with this fabric that I left here on this side. You can't see it too well in the video right now, but we're gonna start with this gray fabric. So I just have a lot of strips. So if you have some bigger pieces of like scrap fabric, you can just tuck them in here and fold them up. I have all my fabric that I owned prior to starting my business. That is all organized on comic boards, but for some reason, all of my other fabric just got totally disorganized. And I do have a different stack for my fabric that is pre-cut for something, like pre-cut for book sleeves or makeup sleeves. But I just have that stacked up in my little curtain closet that you just saw. So for that, I just kind of like put post-it notes on each stack just to separate it, but I could probably find a better way to organize that as well, but I just haven't thought of anything other than to separate it by post-it notes. Another stack. Here's another stack that we're going to work on. Anything loose like this that I see, I'm just going to put to the side, and then I'll put it in with the rest of the fabric later. This one I pre-washed. That's why it looks all ragged. And I ironed it, but it doesn't look ironed anymore. All right. This one I have a lot of like a whole lot of fabric. Well, maybe like 3 yards, which is a lot. I did have this folded up really nicely at one time, and then somehow it got unraveled. All right, that last one was a pain in the booty to fold, and I didn't even fold it nicely or roll it. This is how it turned out. So it was just too long to fold correctly. So the main objective is just to provide some structure in here. That way it can stand everything up. So I'm not going to unravel this one either because this one has a ton of fabric with it. Oops. So here's a scrap. I'm just gonna tuck it in there. Here's what I have left of this. All right, I don't know what happened to my video, but it did not record anything I was doing right now. So I'll just show you what I did. I had these lobster clips in some zipper pouches. So I just put these in here. I had bobbins in here, but I didn't like that they were rolling around and coming unraveled. So I also wanted to put all of my metal supplies in one place. So these are sets. These ones go on my upcycled denim wallets. And then these D-rings go on my keychain wallet slash coin purses. And these ones go on my zipper pouches. And also I just made some earbud cases and I put these little lobster clips on there as well. So I will be showing those later. I haven't made many. I only made one so far, but I do plan to make some more. I just need to make sure that it fits multiple earbud brands. I'm going to put this where I can easily access it. So I finished organizing all my fabric. Well, I didn't finish. I need some more comic board strips or comic boards. So I think it was 100 pack or 75 pack, and I went through it all between my personal fabric stash plus the business stash. So I need to get some more, and also did a little bit of tidying up, a little bit of dusting. Now I'm ready to start the tote bag. So I'm not going to show too much of it, but this is the fabric that I have. So there's one, it has just dogs on it. The other one is paws. And the third one is bones. So I have an idea for it. I'm going to make it a little bit different than I normally do. So we'll see how it turns out. So I'm going to get to ironing these fabrics and I'll be back shortly. All right, so here are the 3 fabrics. So I couldn't get some of these wrinkles out. I've ironed for a while, but we'll just try to give it another iron once I cut everything out. So sometimes that happens, like in the middle of the bolt, the halfway mark, you'll get a line. These ones were all folded up, so they were a little bit different, but this is the fabric that I'm going to use for the main tote. And then I'm thinking I'm going to do a pocket in this paw print, and then the straps are going to be this dog bone print, and then I'm going to do the lining with these paw prints as well. So I want to make this bag a little bit different than I normally do. So I want to do the style that have the exposed strap, so they follow from the bottom all the way up through the top and they go around. So we're gonna plan that out, and then we're also going to do this bone print for the bottom half of the bag. So it's going to look like this basically, with this being the main part, and then just have like a little portion here at the bottom with the bone print. So I also want to make this a little bit bigger than I normally make my bags. So I think I'm gonna go maybe, let's see, 17. Hold on real quick. I think I'm gonna make this 5. Let's see. So I'm gonna make it, well, I'm gonna do the cuts 22 inches wide, and top to bottom I'm gonna do 20 inches in total. And then I think for the box corners, I'm going to do 5 inches. So we'll do 2.5-inch squares at the bottom. So that'll give us 5 inches once the bag is made. Then for the bottom portion, so the box is going to be 5 inches. So we need to calculate that, how many inches we want exposed from the bottom. I think we're going to do 5 inches. So if we do 5 inches on both sides plus the box corner of 2.5, half. That'll give us 7.5. Maybe 4.5. Actually, we'll do 14 inches. I think that'll be good. So it'll give us about 4.5 inches exposed, because it's going to be 4.5 plus the 2.5 for each panel, which will be the bottom portion. So I think 14 inches will be good for this bottom portion. So that means that the top portion is going to be, so if we have 4.5 plus 2.5, that'll give us 7 inches, no, 4.5, 15.5. So we're going to cut the main panel 15 and a half inches. 15.5 inches by 22 inches wide for the main piece. And then we're gonna wait for the lining piece, so we'll just cut it out once everything is sewn and quilted, because things tend to shrink up once you quilt it. So pocket, I think for the pocket, let's see. I want the pockets to be a little bit wider, so 8. I think we'll cut the pockets 8 inches wide. So we're gonna cut 8 by 16 for the pocket. So I'm gonna do a pocket on the front and a pocket on the back. And then for the straps, I think I'm gonna do, I want them to be 1.5 inches wide. So I will cut 6 inches wide, and then we'll figure out the length once I get the main panels sewn or quilted, and then we'll figure out how long we need those to be. Okay, so we want the main fabric to be 22 inches wide. I don't think this is directional. The dogs kind of go in all directions. So this guy is facing this way, this one's facing this way. I think I'm gonna stick with it going in this direction. So we do have some dogs in the right position this way. So we're gonna cut 22 inches wide by 15 inches. So let's see how wide this is. Oh, we are just shy of 22 inches this way. I don't know that I like it this direction. I feel like some of the dogs are upside down. I think we need to go this way. So I'd rather have them sideways or upright, not upside down. So we're just gonna improvise, and we're gonna now make this 21 inches wide, because I don't like the other direction. So we'll just adjust our numbers. So we want this to be 15.5 inches tall. So I'm just gonna straighten out these lines. Actually, let's do this way. Would we say 15.5 by, we're gonna cut this selvage off. Now the bone fabric, we're gonna do 21, what did I say, 21 by 14 inches. Oh. All right, so we have our main fabric done. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut the straps, since I have this out wide, because we're gonna fold it twice into itself. So that'll give us 1.5 inches when we're done, and we're gonna put some fusible fleece in there as well. Oh, hopefully it's long enough. I don't have too much of this fabric. How long is that? We'll see what we look like once the panels are sewn together and we are quilted. Oh, why did I cut 2? I accidentally cut 2 of these. Oh, no, that is not the lining. We're gonna have the dog paws as the lining. But yeah, I accidentally cut 2 of those, and I shouldn't have. Okay, so we gotta figure out which direction we want this. That looks good. And then this is gonna be like the middle-ish portion. So I'm gonna clip these together. Attach this once those are pieced together. All right, so this is sewn together, and we're gonna attach this other side. So I'm just gonna flip this. That way we make sure we get the right direction going. Okay, this side looks good. So I'm just gonna flip it down so right sides are touching, and then we're gonna clip. All right, so I did cut 3 inches from the top of these bags just because it was really big and I didn't account for the difference when I shortened the width of the bag. So I think we'll be looking pretty good where we are. So I'm just gonna cut this batting just as wide as my bag is gonna be. Oops, I don't know why I'm doing it that way. Well, I like to go a little bit bigger because the batting shrinks up a little bit when you quilt it. Just gonna turn this around. This batting has like little bumps on the other side. I don't know what that's all about, but I like to put the bumps on the inside and put the smoother side touching my fabric. Do you guys hear those Air Force military jets? They fly over our house every single day at all hours of the day. I don't mind it. I'm used to it already. But kind of cool. You can hear it on the video. Everything is all clean and organized. I love that I can see everything now. Hey guys, so I am finally done with the tote bag. This is the end result. I think it turned out super cute. I love all the dogs. And then there's the dog bone print on the bottom and the straps. So I didn't end up doing the straps all the way down like I had planned. I planned to do it to connect to this bottom portion. I just forgot to attach it, so it didn't end up that way. I didn't put any pockets on the front or the back either, just because I didn't want to take away from the pattern, the main pattern of the dogs. The dogs are super cute. So instead, I added an extra pocket on the inside. So I added this large pocket on this side, and then the other side, I added a smaller pocket to fit a cell phone. I don't know if you can see that. And then I also wanted to try something new. So I added this little tab up here on the top. So this is to hook your keys or anything. Actually, let me show you an example. So if you had something like this, or keys with the lobster clip on there that you could attach, this would be great for that so you don't lose it. So you just hook it on there. Oops. And then you will have easy access to your pouches or your keys or whatever. This is a larger tote. I don't know if you can see in the video, but it did come out quite large. So I think it'll be a nice work bag or weekend bag, whatever she decides to do with it. So the end size is 19.5 inches wide by 15 inches long or tall. So 15 inches tall by, what did I say it was? About 19.5 inches wide. And then I ended up doing the larger box corners actually. So it's more like 6 inches here. So I think she's really gonna like it. It's super cute. I also want to show you what I've been working on as well. So I'm going to go back to my fabric store and get some more lining fabric. After organizing all of my fabrics yesterday, I realized that I am really short on the lining fabric. So I have a lot of the main exterior pieces, but no linings. So I'm going to make a few laptop sleeves. I think I'm going to do 2 different sizes, like one to fit 13 and 14-inch laptops, and then the other size to fit 15 and 16-inch laptops. So I'm going to work on that, and then I'm also going to work on some earbud cases as well. So here are a couple of samples that I did for the laptop sleeve. This one is my first one, so I like this one. It turned out really cute. It was a lot of extra work with the bias tape though, and I don't think I did a very good job on attaching the bias tape. My lines are not super straight, so I don't know that I want to go that route with my final product. So this is the second attempt that I did. So this one is a little bit different. There's no bias tape around the edges. So I like this method better for construction. And then also the first version I did Velcro and added a little bow. And then this one, I just did the snap buttons, which I like better for efficiency. So I also added the bow on here as well. And I just left raw edges on the bottom and put some fray check on there. So I like the look of that. And this one I put 2 snap buttons on it. So the inside is just plain, no pockets. And I really like this one. So I think this is the design. The second design is what I'm going to go with. But anyways, so look out for those on my website. Hopefully I'll be able to get some up on my website soon. And also the earbud cases. That's what I need to go to the fabric store for, is to get some plain white fabric so I can try making the smaller labels for those earbud cases. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you give me a like and subscribe, and I hope you have a joyful and peaceful day. Thank you. Goodbye.